Do you want more success, more growth, more results? Then it's time for the Boundless Success Accelerator from the Modern Observer Group. This isn't your average coaching program. It's where top performers come to dominate. Weekly group sessions, on-demand coaching, a community that's got your back, and a power-packed library of tools to supercharge your business and career. No more excuses, no more waiting. Get in, level up, and start building the life you've been dreaming about. Visit us at modernobserver.com/boundlesssuccess to join today. Let's get you to the next level. We're here because the news is being distorted. We're here because people are being inundated with misinformation on social media. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth. ICE raids continue. France's government falling apart. U.S. schools get another failing grade, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. The Supreme Court cleared the way for the Trump administration to continue carrying out immigration raids in California after local leaders and advocacy groups argued that federal authorities were stopping suspected illegal immigrants without a valid cause. The High Court's 6-3 decision, issued along party lines, is temporary while the case proceeds in the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit. It came after a federal judge in July blocked Immigration and Customs Enforcement from conducting raids in Los Angeles County, finding plaintiffs likely would succeed in their argument that the raids violated the Fourth Amendment. The Ninth Circuit upheld that order, leading the Trump administration to turn to the Supreme Court. 6 people were killed and 12 were wounded after Palestinian attackers opened fire at a bus stop in Jerusalem yesterday, the deadliest attack in Israel since October 2024. Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas condemned any targeting of Palestinian and Israeli civilians, while Hamas called it a natural response to the occupation's crimes against our people. Meanwhile, Israel on Tuesday issued an order calling for residents of Gaza City to evacuate, saying the Israeli military will operate with great force within the city. Staying in the city is extremely dangerous, said a spokesperson for the Israel Defense Forces. The order and warnings followed an approval by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government of a plan to seize Gaza City, the largest city in the under-siege enclave. Israel began ground operations within the city about a week ago. Israeli officials said the planned seizure is part of its military objective to eliminate Hamas, the terrorist organization that it's been fighting in Gaza since October 2023. Despite the severe situation and evacuation warnings, there are still a significant number of residents who remain in the city who have cited different reasons for staying, including not being able to afford the costs of evacuation and transportation. France's government collapsed amid fiscal pressures. French Prime Minister François Bayrou lost a confidence vote in Parliament, which will force President Emmanuel Macron to name a new premier in the country's third change of government in just over a year. Bayrou's ousting came after he proposed unpopular spending cuts and tax hikes to address the country's mounting debt. Whoever comes next will still have to face the political challenge of passing a budget. Chief Justice John Roberts has allowed President Trump to remove a member of the Federal Trade Commission for now. The Chief Justice granted interim relief to the Trump administration Monday, while the Supreme Court takes more time to consider its request to lift a lower court order requiring Rebecca Kelly Slaughter to be reinstated to her position at the commission. Slaughter is one of several appointees at independent agencies that the president has removed since he returned to the White House. The Supreme Court has allowed Mr. Trump to fire members of the National Labor Relations Board, the Merit Systems Protection Board, and the Consumer Product Safety Commission, while legal challenges to the removals move forward. Mr. Trump appointed Slaughter to the FTC in 2018, and former President Joe Biden reappointed her to the role. Her term was set to expire in 2029. A decades-long slide in high schoolers' reading and math performance persisted during the COVID-19 pandemic, with 12th graders' scores dropping to their lowest level in more than 20 years, according to results released Tuesday from an exam known as the Nation's Report Card. 8th grade students also lost significant ground in science skills, according to the results from the National Assessment of Education Progress. The assessments were the first since the pandemic for 8th graders in science and 12th graders in reading and math. They reflect a downward drift across grade levels and subject areas in previous releases from the NAEP, which is considered one of the best gauges of the academic progress of U.S. schools. Scores for our lowest performing students are at historic lows, said Matthew Soldner, the acting commissioner of the National Center for Education Statistics. These results should galvanize all of us to take concerted and focused action to accelerate student learning. While the pandemic had an outsized impact on student achievement, experts said failing scores are part of a longer arc in education that cannot be attributed solely to COVID-19, school closures, and related issues such as heightened absenteeism. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of the Raw Naked Truth Daily News Brief, as well as our sister podcast, Carnivore Radio, with news analysis and commentary, and the rest of the Exvadio Podcast Network at exvadio.com, the Apple Podcast app, YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.